Hello again, and welcome to the final video in this three-part series about adding custom tables into the Qlik configuration. Be advised that watching the videos in sequence is recommended to best understand the content. I will share details about the various options available for adding custom tables into the Client Construct and Data Echo frameworks. Afterwards, some tips and tricks along with various tidbits will be shared, as well as some Qlik resources. Let's get going. There are multiple ways to update the two frameworks. I will start with Client Construct. Tables can be manually added one at a time, and copy-paste functionality is available as well. Be aware that the number of entries which can be pasted at one time is limited to only the fields visible on the screen, as this framework uses SAP's classical SM30 style table maintenance. Also, this framework has an Insert by Pattern option, which may be useful on occasion to add multiple tables which have a common namespace. Tables can also be added using the Qlik utility named Configure Master Data Tables, which can be executed on demand. This program looks for tables in the Y and Z namespaces and then appends them into their respective data types, such as the one named ZTables Master Data. Be aware that this program takes into consideration those technical attributes that I shared in part 1 of this video series. Qlik advises that any newly added tables be scrutinized in case of possible obsolescence, low value, no value, or data being transactional in nature. This program is located in the configuration menu. Then use the path Administration, Installation Setup, Installation Setup. Let's now have a look at the Data Echo framework. As you might expect, tables can be manually added into this framework, but they can also be added using the Qlik utility named Configure Custom Table, which can be executed on demand. The user can input table namespaces, for example Y star and Z star, and then it identifies relevant tables and recommends possible table and field relations for the user to review. The user can accept or decline each recommendation as they see fit. If accepted, the configuration is applied to the framework per the details in the recommendation, and if declined, then this program will not make this recommendation again during future executions. This utility provides some benefits because it may help reduce some of the user's analytical burden, but the real value comes from it deploying the config changes on the user's behalf. With that being said, it is very important to understand that it is impossible for this program to be all-knowing, and so the user must take responsibility for accepting any of the recommendations while being sure to adhere to the advice provided by Qlik in parts 1 and 2 of this video series. This program is located in the configuration menu. Use the path Administration, Installation Setup, Installation Setup. Let's now talk about tips, tricks, and tidbits. Some content is being summarized here from the previous videos, while other content is new. If unsure whether data is aligned between two tables, the safest approach is to query both tables and see if the data matches in the relevant fields. The fields used to create the table relationship do not have to be named the same. For example, if the field in table A is named PARTNER, but in table B it is named PARTNR, this is not an issue. ABAP developers, because of their skill set and potential familiarity with the team's custom tables, are typically excellent resources for identifying table relations. It is not necessary to include the client field in the table relation because this is managed within the Qlik code. Prior to deploying changes, save off the config in case a restore is needed. This is easily done using the config download upload JSON program. Consider adding custom tables in a non-prod system first, and then test to ensure that the expected data from these tables is exported successfully. If testing is positive, then deploy changes in the environment where the golden version of your config is stored. If testing is negative, then double-check the configuration for completeness and accuracy. You may need to query the respective tables to compare the data to ensure it is aligned. Bear in mind that importing data is not required for testing the configuration changes because the two frameworks are used only during export and not during import. Be sure to use fields which are part of the table's primary or secondary keys for best performance. Add custom tables in a non-prod system first and then test to ensure there are no performance-related issues. Some organizations may find the need to create a new index on some of their custom tables to avoid long-running queries. This is especially true in non-HANA databases like Oracle, DB2, etc. Let me now share some relevant documentation that aligns with the content shared in this video series. Reference the Gold Client Client Construct User Guide for learning how to add tables into the Client Construct framework. Reference the Gold Client Data Echo Advanced Config Guide for learning how to add tables into the Data Echo framework. There are various ways to customize this framework, including some which are rather complex. The content shared in this series only covered the more common variations. For more complex relationships, reference this user guide, consider your team's internal resources and knowledge base, and when needed, reach out to the Qlik Gold Client team for support. Reference the Gold Client Configuration and Utilities Guide for executing the various utilities mentioned in this video series. We have reached the end of this journey, and I hope that this video series has provided some meaningful content. My hope is that you will now be able to successfully incorporate many of your team's custom tables into the Gold Client configuration. Have an amazing day.